Welcome, everybody, to day 4, Horsemen of the Apocalypse. And I love kind of the image of like these dark horses, like riding in the middle of the night to kill you, because that is actually what they are doing. So I have to tell you, anything nutrition, I love Jared and Lyle's perspective. They do a lot of teaching. So I'm just going to throw it over to you guys and let's just go through them, and I'll be like the peanut gallery over here and chime in.
So like you mentioned yesterday, we've got the 4 horsemen, and these can strip nutrition, strip nutrients, and cause toxicity. So when we're talking about deficiency and toxicity, these can do both of those, double whammy.
And the one that just blew me away, cause cell damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With awareness, could you put something in your mouth knowing that it causes cell damage? Like,
That's my
it's a game changer for me. Yep.
So these are the 4 things that if throughout the entire challenge, all you did was a little bit of blasting and eliminated these things, the trajectory, the change of your life over months and years will be
completely
mind-blowing. So
You literally will reverse age.
yeah,
yeah.
totally.
So those 4
The
that we want to avoid are
The number one that I think everybody knows, it's sugar.
sugar.
That's the number one thing. And you can
We're not talking about sugar that's found naturally in fruits or naturally in our carbs or anything like that. We are talking about processed white sugar.
refine processed sugar. And just to add, this has different presentations and many names. So it is extremely important that to know if you're consuming this, you start reading labels. I think I cannot say that.
It's in everything.
Because you have to read the ingredients. And I'm not talking about the calorie chart on the back of your products. Is actually where it says ingredients, and then you have all that information of what that product contains. So there's a lot of names for sugar. What we're talking about is the refined, the enriched, the one that has been processed in industry. They stripped away everything and they put in different things.
So sugars and also syrups and all these different
Yes.
names, which we've got resources as well with all the different names that they
Yeah,
use.
that
So
you can use.
first horseman, sugar. You want to get rid of this ASAP. The second one,
Second
Also,
one,
I mean, so many of our people buy the Fascia Blaster because they're inflamed. Sugar is an instant inflammatory.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about from the minute you consume it, you're going to be inflamed.
yes.
gasoline. You have a little inflammation. Here's a little gasoline on
Yeah.
that fire. Put some
And-
sugar.
Why?
If you have any autoimmune disease, I mean, there's tons of studies out there with people who have rheumatism or anything like that, and all they do is eliminate sugar. They're only eliminating one of the 4 horsemen, and they're like reversing their inflammatory counts. So sugar, people.
It produces inflammation and it feeds the bad bacteria of your microbiome.
We
So
talked about 2 days ago.
we talked about that. Yeah.
Okay, so sugar,
Okay. Number 2,
refined flours.
refined flours.
So we're talking.
That's your breads, people. That's all your breads, your rolls, that kolache I ate, all of that. That is your refined. And I have to tell you, it's different in the United States. We have the worst. Like if I eat bread and things in Spain, I don't have the same result. It is the way that we are refining. So can y'all talk a little bit about that?
Here we go back again to day 1, where we talk about the way these products or the wheat, let's put that example, is cultivated. So it's starting from there. There's soil depletion, but the seeds are GMO, also starting with that. It's full of pesticides. So the grain, it's been processed in industries, again, depleted of the nutrients, depleted of the fiber, and they just bleach it to make it white. And they just put all this enriched stuff that are actually the end product of white flour. And with this, you do your breads, your pasta, your cookies, like the pastries, all that.
And if I can, it's also hidden. So Lau said, read ingredients. It's hidden in so many other products as well. So keep an eye open there.
Okay, because it thickens food, so it's also
Everybody loves pasta, and I have to tell you, one of the easiest little switches to me was to go to like a lentil pasta. Like it's
It's
no
not-
problem. You don't miss it. You don't miss the texture, particularly if you're pairing it up with your veggies and you really get some good veggies, good oils, red pepper oil, things like that. It really does make it easy and you don't feel like you're missing that. And with breads, we can do seed breads made of seeds like Ezekiel breads. You'll find that in your menu planning. And also, I would say we're still talking about sugar. We get it. Like sweetener tastes good. We have monk fruit. We have good plant-based sweeteners. So if that's your jam, you can still have sweet flavor. It's the refining process of these two things.
Flowers?
All right, so we also have oils, the
Oils.
vegetable oils. Same is the
This
type
one was the one where I like lost my mind, because can we just talk about trans fat? Like trans fat, which is in almost every single freaking oil out there other than like getting raw organic coconut oil. Oh my God. And then imagine the foods that are pre-made. You know they have to make them with trans. Trans oil is what makes it last on the shelf. You know, I get it because I make oils and creams for the body, and it's like, dang. I always talk, people will be like, is it fully organic? I'm like, you are never going to find that in a beauty product unless you go to like a local farmer's market. Somebody made it and it's going to start stinking within like 3 weeks. You know what I mean? These things are put into our food to feed the money machine and make these things last from a logistical standpoint. And they're in so much stuff, even things that are labeled healthy.
yes.
So
And
Even organic salad dressing, I found trans. Labeled as organic salad dressing, I found trans fats. And the trans fats, this was the thing that just like made my heart hurt. That is what it literally, like cracking open an egg on the floor, that is what it does to your cells. It is a cell damager.
yes, it is just the simplest way of also explaining is that this type of fats are necessary for a proper cell membrane function. The cell membrane is like the skin of your body. So it's that limit between the outer and the inner world of a cell. So if the membrane is not in a healthy, then imagine there's no
Right, it's supposed to, our cells are supposed to breathe and they're supposed to uptake the nutrition and push out the toxins, you know, again, right into the fascia. It's a whole process and you're literally causing damage to that membrane with doing trans. I know for me, if I eat anything that has a label, which usually my foods don't anymore, I go straight for the sugars and the trans. It's like, I can't believe how much it's in there. And people try to avoid oils, which can we talk about can't just be like, okay, F it, I'm done with oils, because oils are super important for, well, brain health, cell health, all of it.
Okay, so we're specifically here talking about the processed vegetable oils that come from industry where they use GMO seeds, genetically modified seeds, and they're full of pesticides and they're even packaged in plastic stuff. So we're talking about the canola, the soy, the sunflower, the safflower, all those, the cotton. Those types of oils are we referring to. The good oils.
It's in everything. It's so crazy. I think I had told you guys that Jordi, Mr. Pendulum, the Spanish people are really funny with that, but he did all of the food in the house, and the thing that had the lowest vibration, and we don't even eat it, we keep it like for our gardeners or when people come over, was Lay's potato chips. And Lay's potato chip, you guys, I'm in the book. We're talking anything, crackers, chocolates, candies, potato chips, any fried food, all of those things are going to be laced with trans fats.
Yeah, because they're not going to use healthy oils to fry food. They're going to use the cheap things, especially in restaurants. That's what you're going to get. You're going to get the GMO and plastic mixed type of oils that are actually disrupt your cell functioning. The good oils are the ones that are made like the Greek
Right.
olive oil that is fresh, that is organic, that is hand-picked. Like we're talking about good oils, coconut oil, for example. And also, and this is very important, this will be related to the future topics, but you have to make sure that this is also in a good container. The oils are in glass. They have to come in glass. They cannot come in plastic. If it comes in plastic, you know it's cheap and it's not good quality. So you want to use even if it's more expensive. Yes, of course, it's going to be more expensive.
One-time investment. I think I put those in my Amazon store, those plastics seeping into your food. It's particularly the thin plastics. People ask me that about fascia blasters, and I'm like, there is a big difference between like a bottle and its ability to link or a food container and a fascia blaster. A fascia blaster is a hard plastic. Nothing leaks out of the fascia blaster. So don't be worried about that.
So we got, okay.
Just to wrap it up, just to add this idea, whether you invest in your health or whether you invest in your sickness. So yeah, maybe you're gonna pay more for this type of high quality foods, but they're with best nutrition, and they're gonna deliver the nutrients that your body needs, and they're not gonna produce or introduce toxins into your body. So yeah, you always choose where you want to put your money.
So the fourth horseman is
Dairy.
no cheese. I love cheese.
I get
wow,
with
you
the
fun
cheese.
hater.
Dairy.
This is going to be really shocking to people. And again, this is all part of your readings. And I encourage you to really read the science behind this and dive in, but I think the thing that really struck me, it's like, there's not a single other animal out there that drinks another animal's milk or uses another animal's milk. It's for baby cows, not baby humans.
For babies. It's made for babies from that.
Exactly.
If you're wondering, so what about calcium? I really encourage you to read that part of the book because it's very enlightening in regarding to the source of calcium, because we've all been trained and programmed that the calcium has to come from milk, and that is not true.
That is just not true.
It's very convenient for the
And
industry.
actually, what's so crazy is that milk actually robs calcium from bones in the way that our bodies process it because it's foreign.
Yes.
I always think back to our ancestors. Like, I don't think any of our ancestors ran up to a cow and just started sucking. And I think if that was the way we had to consume milk products, we would have a lot more people being like, no, I'm not going to do that. We've kind of made it easy and sort of almost sexy the way that, products are made. But
and even if they did, the life conditions were absolutely different than what we're speaking right now. Even if they did something in the past, maybe some butter or something, it's not the same as the lifestyle we have right now. It was completely different. They were outside, they were walking, they didn't have all this convenient stuff that make life lazy. The food was not contaminated. There was no pesticide. Like, you have to think in terms of how they used to live in a completely different setting, in a completely different environment. So we cannot apply the same concept. But
it's so super easy to substitute it. Like, if you, let's just say, like milk, there's almond milk and all types of other healthy milk-ish things, right? And even cheese, nut cheese is amazing. We have really good substitutes for people who are sort of addicted to these textures or flavors or seeing it. I know for me, I have a vegan Parmesan cheese, and I do put it on my salads. It just actually fakes my brain out. It's like, oh, I got cheese on my salad. The texture and the way that it looks and everything else. So I just kind of coming from, I'm going to consider myself a normal American eater. All of these changes are really simple to do. It's just quick little substitutions. And I think it all starts with that awareness. Be willing to bet if we sat everybody down and said, look, do you guys want to have your ultimate potential? You want to be 60, 70, 80. And you guys know we have friends like that, right? That are living in the blue zone, and they do all of this stuff naturally. This is not, they don't need a program because this is just the way people do things. If we all said, do you want that? You want to move into like looking amazing and feeling amazing at your daughter's wedding. You want to pick up your grandkids. You want to be surfing and ecstatic dancing when you're 90. Everybody would be like, yeah, and then it's like, okay, but you need to give up milk. Oh, no, that's so silly. It's so out of alignment. Like, we all want this and it's right there, and you just have to do it. And I'll tell you what, you might crave it for 2 weeks, all of these things, if your body is literally addicted to it, but that starts to subside and you don't even want it.
2 quick things. So do you want to age gracefully vibrantly, or do you want to age painfully? Like that's the norm. Oh, I'm getting it's old age. But here's the thing, the book explains this very, very well. So our cells, our body is constantly building itself. So what are the raw materials that it's building itself with? It's building these cell structures. Is it all of these refined, chemically laden flours and oils and all of these, sugars? Or is it whole foods, real foods that are nutrient rich that are going to build my cells and build my body that it can continue on,
Yeah.
like you said, doing these amazing things into the 90s and even after 100.
Yeah.
So thinking it like that, it's just super basic, super simple. What are the raw materials we're giving our body the chance to build itself and operate with?
It's amazing in the book, Jared, because he talks about the Hunza tribe, which was literally a tribe that for the longest time was completely cut off. And he's talking about men that are 120 years old having children. And really the difference was that they didn't have the toxicity. They didn't have the 4 horsemen. That's it. And they also didn't have the toxicities and the environment and things like that, So I think the first news flash of all of this is that it's possible. I know for me, I've always felt young and athletic and all of that. And I'm not willing to give that up moving into, the second half of my life. Like I want to be that person that goes viral on TikTok for like shaking a tail feather when I'm 105. So anyway, love the 4 horsemen. Good luck, everybody. Just do it. I'm going to say it like Marielle, our collective yoga instructor. She says, don't think, just do.
And we're here. You've got tons of support. We're here. The community, we're here for you, cheering you on. You can do this. And
I would just like to wrap it up saying that aging doesn't have to suck, because I've heard this before.
Oh,
good job.
yes, queen.
Heard this many times already, especially when we traveled recently to the US. Everybody was talking, aging sucks, but aging doesn't have to suck, but it's your choice.
Health is a choice. All right, so going into day 5, ultimately, we would love for our detox systems to just work, but we have decided that we need to live in air conditioning and never sweat. We have decided that we don't need to run, jump, and play. So in day 5, we're going to be giving you some strategies to get your toxins out via that lymph system and out of your skin. So stay tuned. These are super, super easy things you can do to incorporate into your schedule. And we'll see you on day 5.